No doubt the most efficient offensive performance for the Cincinnati Bearcats nets them their third straight conference win, setting up a massive showdown on Sunday.
Our Locked On Bearcats, your daily podcast on the Cincinnati Bearcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you so much for making Locked On Bearcats your first listen every day. It's free and available everywhere you get your podcasts, including on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to our Locked On Bearcats YouTube channel. Follow it to get an alert every time we drop a new episode. Some bonus content for you on this Thursday. The Bearcats beat USF last night 85-69. Third straight win for the Bearcats. They're now 4-2 in AAC play. They're 14-6 overall on the season. That actually, I should know that 14-6. Whew, I thought for a minute they were 15-6. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll treat that like that was live radio. The Bearcats last night were tremendous offensively, most efficient performance of the season, did not commit a turnover until 13 minutes to go in the ball game. Only 4 total turnovers on the night, 17 assists, and the Bearcats also out-rebounded a very good rebounding Bulls team, 35-33. David DeJulius and Landers Nolly II, the standout players. DeJulius with 21 points, 7 of 8 from the floor, perfect in the first half. 2 for 2 from 3, 5 of 5 from the free throw line in 34 minutes of play. 7 assists to just 1 turnover. Landers Nolly II, he had 6 assists and 9 rebounds. Talk about a near triple-double. 8 of 13 from the floor, 3 of 5 from three-point range. The Bearcats overall 9 for 22 from beyond the arc. They were 32 of 65 from the floor. 18 of 34 in the first half, 7 of 13 from 3 in the first half. So much better in the first half shooting than they were in the second half, but still overall a very, very good night from the Bearcats shooting-wise. 24 points off the bench, USF with 18. Bearcats had 13 points off turnovers. USF only had 4 points. Victor Locken had 6 points and 5 rebounds. Dan Skillings Jr. continues to impress. 11 points for him, 4 of 7 from the floor. Jeremiah Davenport hit 2 threes, part of his 7-point effort. Kalui Zikpe, 6 points on a perfect 3 of 3 from the floor. Defensively, the Bearcats held the Bulls' 2 best players, Tyler Harris, to just 10 points on 3 of 8 shooting from the floor, and Russell Chewa, 8 points on 2 of 6 from the floor. He also only had 2 rebounds, so a very good night for the Bearcats, both offensively and defensively, in their third straight win of conference play. Coming up, I'll share my thoughts on the game, but first, I'm here to tell you why today's episode of Locked On Bearcats is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. From pro football to college bowl season to basketball and the World Cup, we've got it all at betonline.net. If you love sports podcasts, you can even find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. Thanks again for making Locked On Bearcats your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from big-name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Alex Frank here with you on Locked On Bearcats, your host each and every day. I've got some thoughts from last night's game, an 85-69 win for the Bearcats. Obviously, they were very efficient offensively. They took care of a team in the Bulls that record-wise isn't very good. They came into last night 1-4 in conference play, 8-10 overall. They played a lot of close games, though. Russ Heltman and I talked about this yesterday in our live room, if you caught that. The Bulls had played in several close games in conference play, but the Bearcats took care of them on the road, winning by 16 points in their final ever trip to Tampa, potentially. Really starting to feel like this team is hitting their stride. They've won 3 in a row. They've won in a variety of ways. Dan Hort and Terry Nelson were talking about that on the radio broadcast pregame show. You know, they've won 2 of those games scoring 83 and 85. They've also won scoring just 54 points. I still feel like, though, we need to see more from Jeremiah Davenport. You know, he has I feel like ever since the Wichita State game just hasn't really been much of a factor. In fact, if we look at his last 4 games since his first game as the sixth man, he has 2 points, 16 points against ECU. That was good. 2 points and 7 points. So 3 of his last 4 games, he's under 10 points. And shooting, outside of 6 for 12 field and 4 of 8 from 3 against ECU, 1 of 9 and 0 for 7 against Houston, 1 of 8 and 0 for 5 against SMU, and 2 for 9, 2 for 8 against South Florida. Right now, he's shooting just 33% from the floor and 30.5% from 3. So struggling Jeremiah Davenport. He's got to start playing better. But let's get to, and I think it's just a matter of taking better shots and being more efficient like the Bearcats were last night. Victor Lockett had an off night last night, and yet the Bearcats still won by 16. If we look at Cincinnati, though, in their last few games, I feel like they're not getting to the line enough. In this game, the Bearcats were, from the free throw line, 12 of 15. So they were 12 of 15 in this game, 4 of 7 against SMU. Against East Carolina, they got to the free throw line. Let's see. The Bearcats got to the free throw line 10 times, made 7 against Houston, and 4 games is really enough of a sample size. Against Houston, the Bearcats got to the free throw line 14 times. So I really do feel like right now, the Bearcats are not quite getting to the free throw line enough. If we look at the Bearcats, they have attempted 312 free throws this season, 69.2% from the line. Free throws made per game, Bearcats are at 10.8. Opponents are at 12.1. Opponents have also attempted, and this is, I believe this is updated. Yeah, this is updated. 12 more free throw attempts for the Bearcats and 25 more makes the Bearcats, their opponents. So I feel like they do need to start getting to the free throw line more. Excellent job limiting Tyler Harris and Russell Chewa. Completely took them out of the game. And that's what the Bearcats defense needs to do, especially when they face Memphis on Sunday with Kendrick Davis and DeAndre Williams. If the Bearcats defense can start taking the opponent's best players out of the game, which is something they used to do very well at under Mick Cronin and Bob Huggins, this team is going to start to be fine defensively. I think they're starting to hit their stride there too. All right, we'll turn the page and look ahead to Memphis after I tell you how this episode of Locked On Bearcats is brought to you by Built Bar. Can we pause the pod for a second? Okay, we're paused. Great, because you got to try this. I'm talking about Built Bar's new reimagined flavors, cookie dough topper, coconut brownie bar, and coconut brownie topper. White chocolate, peppermint granola. It's Built's take on the granola bar, so it's more filling and still insanely tasty. And candy cane brownie puff. Built Puffs are like biting into the universe's most delicious cloud. First off, for anyone who hasn't tried Built Bars before, they're literally the best tasting protein bars ever built. They're revolutionizing nutrition as we know it, with 100% real chocolate, 17 grams of protein, and shockingly low sugar and calories, just 130 calories. Just sink your teeth into that first bite and it'll change your life forever. I'm not kidding. There will be a time before you try these new Built flavors and the magical, wonderful time afterwards. You're probably wondering which new flavor is my favorite. An unanswerable question to say the least. They're all unbelievable and they're all different. So you can order a mixed box and try all 5 flavors for yourself. Built. You got to try this. Get 15% off your order right now by using the code LOCKEDON15 at Built.com. Again, 15% off your order right now by using the code LOCKEDON15 at Built.com. All right, Sunday, the Bearcats take on the Memphis Tigers. Memphis still has one more game to play tonight. That is against Wichita State. Memphis will carry a record of, they will carry a record into this game. It's a big game Sunday. Chance for the Bearcats to get a marquee win on their NCAA tournament resume at large bid. 13-5 is Memphis right now. They're 3-2 in conference play. We look at some of their statistics. They are a very good offensive team. Kendrick Davis, we know him, 21.2 points per game, leading scorer in the conference. DeAndre Williams, 15.7 points per game. And then you have 7 players averaging between 5.5 points and 8 points per game. Third leading scorer, Alex Lomax. He's been there forever. Malcolm Dandridge is still there. Jeez. Going to be a tough battle for the Bearcats. Memphis scores 78.6 points per game, but they do allow 71.7 points per game. So a chance for a high-scoring game. Remember, these two teams last year, 87-80 and 81-75 were the final scores in both those games. So expect another track meet-like game on Sunday. That's going to do it for me, Locked On Bearcats. Thanks for making it your first listen every day. How about for your second listen, you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court, plus hear from big-name experts, coaches, and players throughout the basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. For Locked On Bearcats, my name is Alex Frank. Have a great rest of your day. Bearcats 85-69 winners over USF. They'll take on Memphis on Sunday, 1 o'clock from Fifth Third Arena. I'm on Twitter at Frankie_Natty. Podcast is at Locked On Cats. I'm on Instagram, AlexFrankNet_, and email alexbfrank@gmail.com. For Locked On Bearcats, thanks for making it your first listen every day. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Alex Frank for Locked On Bearcats. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow right here on Locked On Bearcats.